Joe, what up, what up? This is Busy Home Beat with your boy King series. And in today's video, we are going to learn how to mix vocals in our home studio to sound professional and okay for it to be played on radio and everywhere on every device. Okay, so without wasting my time, first of all, I would like us to listen to the song. After that, then we go through the process and I tell you everything about it. Okay, so I'll give it my own song. We should listen to some part of the rap, then after that we listen to some part of the hook and then we move on.
How can you survive? And we are sending BBI links why when it's a qualifying pass, stand by. I swear, we just lazy so can come and deal with dread. Boys now your heart to Tina I read or the commis in a better tell us Mr. Fred. And what the Mr. Fred, yeah, what the Mr. Fred, yeah. Before and still I made the vim. Before Bogania swine or park with Jimmy. Then no must have drain ton thing. In series got potentials without limb. Mate, man go make cam.
Okay, so that's how the rap sound. You can see that it sound clearly nice and everything. So let's listen to some part of the hook and everything here.
Job be done, let the job be done. What's the name my way out, Mr. Big Man? Put your hands up, oh, put your hands up, put your hands up, oh, put your hands up. If you feeling my vibe, put your hands up. If you feeling my vibe, put your hands up. Put your hands up, oh, put your hands up, put your hands up, oh, put your hands up. If you feeling my vibe, put your hands up. If you feeling my vibe, put your hands up. You go use your mind, you go make them in your season time. Make nobody stretch you wide, make nobody stretch you wide. You go make them, you go use your mind. You go make them in your season time. Make nobody stretch you wide. Make nobody stretch you wide. Yeah, make you no make the economy change you.
Yeah, okay. So that is everything in the song here. And before I start the process or anything, please, if you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to this channel, like and comment to this video. We give you videos back to back about beats, production, mixing and everything about music here. Okay, so please, before you can mix and get a clean sound and everything, start from right from your recording. You get it? Yeah, for me the microphone that I'm using here is AT2020 Audio Technica 2020. Yes, it's kind of good and yeah, nice. So before you can get a clean mixing, make sure that your vocals have been recorded clearly and nicely. You cannot just record anything bad and then later on try to put effect on it just to fix it. It doesn't work that way. Yes, mixing is the same as like making things clean, cleaning things up. Yeah, so if you get a good recording, then if you put your effect on it, you don't really have to do too much on it for it to be okay for you. It just will be okay if you get a clean recording and everything. Okay, so we are assuming you have clean recording and everything here. So listening to this without the effects, let's start with the rap first. So I'll just solo the rap and mute all the effect on it. So if you listen to the rap song,
when alive, when it's a boy, how can you survive? And we are sending BBI links why when it's a qualifying part, stand by. I swear, we just lazy so can come and deal with dread.
So you and I can clearly hear that if you are listening to it on mobile phone, I don't think it's the best idea, but maybe in headset or studio monitors or something like that, it's okay for you. But you could apply this to any kind of DAW, the steps and everything to DAW, any DAW that you are using. Yes, so you can hear that the recording here plays nice and it sounds okay, right?
Your whole too, but still be changing. When alive, when it's a boy, how can you survive? And we are sending BBI links why when it's a walk live.
Yes, nice sounding recording. So first of all, what I did is to just EQ it. I cut some of the low ends and some of the frequencies. These settings are not the same as yours if you're applying it, because my vocals has different frequencies and everything than your own or any other artist. You get it? We are all unique, so it depends on what you are just going for and what you are looking for. Each and every track depends on how it's supposed to sound together with the instrument. And whenever you are EQing or compressing, make sure you do it together with the instrument. You don't have to do the vocals separately. Other than that, it will sound okay, but when you add the instrument, you could hear that some frequencies are obviously crashing and things. You wouldn't be getting what you are looking for. So you do everything together. I don't think whenever you are cooking food, you just put everything in the server or anything and do everything aside, and after that you just come and add it to the come and put it on fire. Now it's on fire, then you just start adding everything together, right? So that you know where you are going. So I just use the EQ to cut some of the low ends and sweep around the bad frequencies. So what I did is I just select. You can use any EQ of your own choice, but for me, I'm using file filter. You can use EQ from Waves or your excuse me, or your stock plugins and everything. So this is what I did playing. Then I just sweep around to find the bad frequencies which I don't like. Then after that, I'll just bring it down like this. And I don't like to bring it down a little. I love to bring it around -3, -4, -3. Yes, I don't want to cut it too much like that. So after the EQ, then the compressor. The compressor here is helping us to make sure that if you look at the waves, if you have been following my tutorials, then you know what I'm talking about here. But if you are new here, let me still explain. The compressor is helping us to make sure that all these small waves here, you can see that it is really down. So whenever you are playing, these large ones will play louder than these ones here, right? So the compressor here is helping us to make sure that everything is being played at the same level, if not perfectly at the same level. I mean, it's supposed to be somehow close, you get it, so that whenever the place that whenever you are rapping or you are singing that you shout wouldn't be louder than the place that you just sing it at a very low tone, so that everything will be. So the compressor helps us to do that. So this is the setting for this kind of vocals and this instrument over here. So my threshold around -21, and I don't like to use only one compressor because we say 2 hertz are better than 1. So I like to use 2 or more compressors. So then this, I use fast attack and fast release, and I brought the gain up to 6, and my ratio is 2.83. So with the compressor on it, this is what we're having now.
When alive, when is a boy, how can you survive? And if we are sending BBI lengths, why when is a qualifying part, stand by. I swear, we just lazy so can comment with dread. Boys now your whole to Tina I read or the kumis in a better with Fred.
So you can hear when I take these 2 effects from it, this I sound with the EQ on it.
Why when is a qualifying part, stand by. I swear, we just lazy so can comment with dread. Boys now your whole to Tina I read or the kumis in a better with Mr. Fred. Mr. Fred, yeah.
Okay, so the next thing I did was I did have to EQ because I brought some of the frequencies up using the compressor. I brought the gain up and everything, so I had to cut some of the frequencies which were also coming up and wasn't helping my vocals together with the instrument. So I cut the low ends of this, and this is a stock plugin. So obviously, if you are using Cubase 5, you have it. So I cut these frequencies from there, and this is the settings for it. So if I just take it from there and listen to the rap,
I swear, we just lazy so can comment with dread. Boys now your whole to Tina I read or the kumis in a better.
So you can see that it gives it weight. Yes, the vocals become a little bit heavy and thick. So if I take it, listen to it clearly.
Thanks why when is a qualifying part, stand by. I swear, we just lazy so can comment with dread. Boys now your whole to Tina.
Yes, heavy and thick, and it makes it clear too. Okay, so that's what I did for this. And the next thing is, I told you I love to use 2 or more compressors. I don't like to use only one compressor. So what I did here was I just adjust the threshold to -26 and the release. That's the only knob that I did touch. The rest is just there. So if you listen to it without the compressor,
why when is a qualifying part, stand by. I swear, we just lazy so can comment with dread. Boys now your whole to Tina I read.
Okay, and with the compressor,
survive, and if we are sending BBI lengths, why when is a qualifying part, stand by. I swear, we just lazy so can comment with dread. Boys,
yes, it has also make it loud and thick and heavy. You get it? So if I'm supposed to play this together with the beat, that's what we're having now.
When alive, when is a boy, how can you survive? And if we are sending BBI lengths, why when is a qualifying part, stand by. I swear, we just lazy so can comment with dread. Boys now your whole to Tina I read or the kumis in a better with some.
Yes, very nice. Okay, so we are having some sibilances in it. So what I did was to use the de-esser. The de-esser here, whenever you are mixing, you are just cleaning it. You are not just trying to make it sound different. Yes, you are not trying to make it sound different. That's what you're supposed to know. Yeah, I'm just cleaning it so that I can hear my vocals clear together with the instrument. Nice. Yes, if you don't know how to mix, you don't have to be putting too much of instrument in your beat. Yes, you get it. Something small, then you just make sure your vocals are doing what's supposed to be done. Yeah, we are just cleaning things here. So that's mixing. So my de-essing is here to take away my sounds, sibilances. So I use this effect, this preset, single vocal, then I move to male split band. Yes, and I adjust the threshold to -36. You can use any DS of your own choice. We have other DSs from Waves and also from Cubase if you are using Cubase, and I think the DAW that you are using too, you can FL Studio and other stuff, so you can get stock plugins, and we have other different, but that's what I chose to use because I like the way it sounds for me now. So with the DSR on it, without the DSR,
When alive, when you sick a boy, how can you survive?
So survive, you can hear the sister.
How can you survive?
So if I'm supposed to, if I activate the DSR, that's what it sounds.
A boy, how can you survive? And the sick a boy, how can you survive? And the we are when you sick a boy, how can you survive?
You can see that it's really clean it a
How
little
can you
bit.
survive? And the we are
Nice one. So the C is not actually disturbing our ears. And the next thing is C1 gate. You know, the steps that you use in mixing also matters. But at this stage, I was supposed to use the C1 gate to start it because we are cleaning the vocals, right? So I just wanted the C1 gate here is blocking all this background noises coming into our vocals. As in, wherever there is an empty space, you can clearly see that we have some spaces in there. Yes, and this side is actually making noise, so the C1 gate is there to the C1 gate is here to make sure that these noises wouldn't be in the vocals because we want to get a clean vocal. You get it? Yes. So if you don't have this gate and other, or you don't want to be using this gate, and maybe your breath control is too much on it, this it's kind of too much in your vocals and you want to clean it at a very fast rate, you can, without using the gate, you can just double click it on it. If you are using Cubase, I'm showing you in Cubase. Yes, Cubase, double click it and make sure you select the definition so that this thing will just appear here. Then you select the whole of this. So for me to work with it at a faster rate, I just move to key commands. You get it? Then I have to assign a letter to my silence. So you come to process here, then you come to silence. So you just click here and use the key that you want to use. So for me, if you look at here, I just click A, then you click on assign, then you just click on OK. Then because I'm using A, if I press A on my keyboard, everything here will just clean. You see it is gone now. Yes, but I'm not using it to clean it, so I just have to leave it like that. Okay, nice one. So that's how you can use to clean your vocals if you don't want to use the C1 gate, or maybe you've used the C1 gate and you're still having problem with that. If your room is not actually treated and you're having some background noises and everything, then that's what you can use to clean them. Okay, at a very fast rate. And the next thing was I put this file filter setting on it, and I added some kind of distortion to it. You get it? Around 25% the drive band. So this was, so if I play it for you, let me solo the vocals only and let's listen to it.
When alive, when you sick a boy, how can you survive? And if we are sending BBI links, why when you sick a walk qualifying part, stand by. I swear, we you lazy so can come there with dread. Boys now your heart to until I read or the.
So yes, it sound okay for me. And the next thing that I did here was reverb and delay. More times we don't actually, for rap you don't have to be putting too much reverb on it, but some delays or anything. But it depends on what you are looking for and what you want. We don't have any rules for mixing and anything. It depends on what you do. If you put it on it and it sounds nice and okay for you, then you leave it as you want it. If you don't want it, then you just take it from it. So I put this reverb on it, and it's a reverb send. Yes, so if you listen to the vocals only with the reverb, this is how it sounds.
When you sick a boy, how can you survive? And if we are sending BBI links, why when you sick a walk qualifying part, stand by. When alive, when you sick a
without the reverb.
Boy, how can you survive? And if we are sending BBI links, why when you sick a walk qualifying part, stand by. I swear, we you lazy so can come there with dread.
So you can see I chose plate, and I chose I EQ some of the low ends here. If your EQ doesn't if your reverb doesn't have EQ on it, then you can just go to where your EQ, your reverb is, as in maybe FXN like this. Then if you want to put EQ on it, you can just go and put EQ and clean it up as you want it. So I just, this is my pre-delay and 2.2, and my room size, I remove it from 100, I reduce it from 100% to a 55.4, then the decay at this time. So this is the settings that I did for these vocals. You don't have to be copying the settings, but understand what you're actually doing and what you are going for. So the next thing is my delay on the vocals. So the delay also goes like this. This is the settings for the delay, 1/4, then my mix around 25, and I touch my feedback. So with it on it, this is how it sounds.
When you sick a boy, how can you survive?
You can hear the delay now. Listen.
When alive, when you sick a boy, how can you survive?
So without the delay,
and we are sending BBI links, what?
You can't hear anything, right? But with the delay on it, this is what
when alive, when you sick a boy, how can you survive? And
very nice. So now if you listen to the rap together with the beat and all the processing, that's what we're having now.
When alive, when you sick a boy, how can you survive? And we are sending BBI links, why? When you sick a walk qualifying pass, stand by.
Very nice one. So it's the same thing that I did on my hook and everything. So if I'm supposed to solo my hook, it's the same thing. So you can see that the reverb too is the same. Just that I did change the reverb amount that I was putting. I put too much amount of reverb and delay on the hook. So if you listen to it without the effect, and this is how it sounds.
Put your hands up, oh, put your hands up, put your hands up, oh, put your hands up. If you feeling my vibe, put your hands up.
Yes, very clean vocals. I first put auto tune on it, and I don't like to be putting too much of it for it to be sounding like a robot like this. And people do around 0. Then
if you feeling my vibe, put your hands up, put your hands up, oh,
I don't like it that way. It sounds like a robot. So I just reduce it to 30. It depends. Sometimes around 20, 25, or 15, or yes. So this time around I did around 30 because of how the song it is. So my input is auto tenor, and F. The key is F major. Yes. So after the auto tune, then the next thing is EQ, as the same way we did for the rap vocals, but we EQ'd it differently. Yes. And compress it also differently, but it's still the same plug-in effect on it. I put another compressor on it and another EQ with different kind of settings on it, and C1 gate just to remove background noise. Also and I put a lot of side distortion on it. So let me just reduce it a little bit and see how it sounds now.
Up, oh, put your hands up, put your hands up, oh, put your hands up. If you feeling my vibe, put your hands up. If you feeling my vibe.
Nice. And the next thing that I think is different from the rap side is I put reverb on it. Yeah, so I just the pre-delay around 19, and the reverb time at this to 2.1, then my reverb mix to 5. So if you listen to it without the reverb send, this is how it sounds.
Put your hands up, oh, put your hands up, put your hands up, oh, put your hands up. If you feeling my vibe, put your hands up. If you feeling,
you get it. So it's different. If you look on the rap, I didn't add any, so we are having empty space there. So, and I also added an FXN for this. So together with the FX and the delay and everything, this is how it sound.
Put your hands up, oh, put your hands up, put your hands up, oh, put your hands up. If you feeling my vibe, put your hands up. If you feeling my vibe,
without this reverb, you can hear this
vibe, put your hands up.
With this reverb,
put your hands up, oh, put your hands up, put your hands up, oh, put your hands up.
Very nice one. So if you listen to it together with the beat, that's what you're having.
Man. Put your hands up, oh, put your hands up, put your hands up, oh, put your hands up. If you feeling my vibe, put your hands up. If you feeling my vibe, put your hands up. Put your hands up, oh, put your hands up, put your hands up, oh, put your hands up. If you feeling my
yes. So the same thing. And the last thing I did is the background vocals. That one we are having the same reverb settings and reverb send on it. So it's still the same thing that I did my EQ on it, and I EQ it according to how it was being sounded and compress it differently. I put a DSR on it, C1 gate on it, the same preset effect that I've been using for the rap and the hook. Yes, and also this, and this, the difference is the reverb. I put it around 50. This reverb I put it around 50, as compared to the hook on, which was around 5. Yes, just to get what I was looking for the background is I just wanted to hear like it's sounding in a room. You get it? Yes. I just wanted to feel it like we are in a room, yes, and people are shouting. So that's what I was looking for. That's why I did put too much reverb on it. So what I did was 4 vocals, which was being recorded by me, and it is not actually different because we are having the same person doing the same intake. You can try to change your voices and everything to sound different, but I just maintain it the way it is. So I pan them left and right, which is 68, and left to 68, and this third one to 36, and this one to 36, and I reduce the volume to -6 on all of them. -6, -6, -6. So that's the background. And I did a telephone effect over here. This is how I did the telephone effect. So if you listen to this, okay, let me just, and if you listen to only this,
And what did Mr. Fred? Yeah, what did Mr. Fred?
yeah, so actually what we are having here is this EQ here. Then I selected this preset, telephone. Then I adjust this to sound like the way I want it, because if you don't adjust it, it really sound really thin, and it doesn't sound okay for me. So I had to open it up for clarity. Yes, for clarity. So that's what I did on this kind of mixing. The next tutorial, I'm going to master it for you guys, how I did master the song, and I'm going to show you how I did master it, and I'm going to use only one plugin to master it for you guys, so you can actually do it if you don't know how to go by using some kind of process or anything. So that's that for today. Thank you for watching. If you like my video, please make sure you thumbs up, or anything that you want me to do, just comment down there and I'll gladly come to you. It's your boy King Series, and I'm out.